Good morning, it's Tess, and today is tip 278, and I'm just calling it Live Life in Your Passion. This morning I listened to a podcast from that was interviewing someone I actually met in July at Chris Nagel's Inner Circle, Luke Medico, so I might try to tag it in the comments here. But he kind of talked about some things that I've actually worked through in the past couple of years, and anxiety and like being uncomfortable with something that I kind of lived with on a regular basis, and I've worked through it in the past couple of years. But during this podcast of his, he had a couple of statements that were statements I really enjoyed. I liked how he worded it, and he is one of those kind of people that he's engaging in what he says. So I'll share some of the things he said, but basically kind of one of the things that I think living your life with your passion, it kind of makes you feel better. It makes you It does. It gives you the drive to keep moving forward. None of us want to be doing something we don't like. Doc V always says, do more of what you love, less of what you tolerate, and none of what you hate. And I think that's so true in so many areas of our life. And Luke in his podcast kind of actually said, when your passion's gone, it's time to move on. It's time to find something new to do to keep moving on. And I know I've done a lot with that myself during this time of remote work, and identifying what do I want my next phases of life to look like. And Luke kind of talked about it even in his podcast, that retirement is kind of not really that thing where we hit 65 and we sit home. I think it's about creating a life, and this is something I've been trying to work on too, is creating a life where I have a passive income, but I can be pursuing things that soothe me or comfort me or feel good to me. No one wants to go to work every day doing something that doesn't connect with them or doesn't make them feel like they're meeting their purpose for being here. So I just thought that if you're not feeling that, if you're not feeling that passion or living that life that feels purposeful or feels warm in your heart, it might be time to take a look at how you can make changes to it or how you can move forward. He said another interesting statement that I really kind of like. So I have some more quotes to add to my little quote book. But he said, opportunity and timing don't give a crap about each other. So when something comes up, you just have to take action. Because if you're waiting for opportunity and timing to be perfect, it just doesn't come together like that. So I thought that was really I liked that quote, and it was a meaningful quote, because we never do, you know, we hear all the time about people saying, I want children, but I'm waiting till I have enough money. They wanted to get married, but they were waiting till this. They wanted to open a business, but they were waiting till that. None of us are promised tomorrow. None of us know what tomorrow is going to bring. And sometimes we just have to take that step. And I think even in the cases of us taking that step, sometimes we find it's a step that will lead us to another direction, that will put us someplace that we truly want to be. And when I was a more anxious person and living in that place of anxiety, I didn't take the steps, and I wasn't really happy. And I think that finding an opportunity to live life with passion, or to continue to try to strive to find something that feels good. And for me, feeling good and being excited about getting up every day is the passion. I think that is where I want to head, and that's how I want the next years of my life to come together. But when Luke was talking today, again, like a lot of the statements he said were meaningful to me. Like he was saying, it's too easy to get into your head, and that you just need to take action. Sitting in non-motion makes it worse. And it kind of made me think about why I've kind of put together like morning routines and night routines. My morning routine is that when the alarm goes off, my animals will complain until I give them food, and then I'm up. And once I'm up and have walked across the house, I'm up and I'm moving. But what I realized when he said that this morning is the reason I do that is that getting up and getting moving stops me from laying in bed ruminating about what I think is wrong with myself, the world, or what I have to do that day. If I just get up and I get moving and I just take action, it makes me feel better. I don't like to lay in bed and contemplate everything I think can go wrong. And that is kind of the type of person I am. I'm an accounting type person. I'm analytical. I try to plan for every possible fire, and then I can spend hours and hours trying to prevent something instead of living it. And that's what I've had to really work on in the past year, is to keep moving forward, to keep active. And it was kind of cute because Luke has a charisma about him, and when he makes those statements, it was really it was motivating. Hi, Dolly, good to see you. But it made me realize that it is true. I want to live life with passion. And if something is not filling that, then maybe I need to move on. And that if I'm starting to struggle with something, sitting with it too long and holding on to it too long before taking action doesn't help me. That's how I ended up myself into anxiety, is that I contemplated, recontemplated, planned, replanned, and never took steps forward. And I know I've said that before, but it was cute because the way that Luke was talking about it in his podcast, he used some of those catchphrases that just kind of made me smile or laugh because, yeah, I've been that person. I've been guilty of doing those things, but moving past it just feels a lot better. So kind of just to recap, because I know I have some new people on, I listened to a podcast by Luke Medico. I met him in Chris Nagel's Inner Circle earlier this summer, but he kind of said the same thing, that he dealt with anxiety for a period of time. And what he's recognized as he's gotten older is that if you don't have passion about something you're doing, it's time to move on. It's time to move forward and find the thing that you're passionate about, because that's the thing that you're going to make a difference with. He also said, and this was really cute, and I'm going to remember this one, opportunity and timing don't give a crap about each other. When an opportunity presents, you have to make a decision. Are you going to move forward or are you not? Because if you're waiting for perfect timing, we all know that the days are short, and we don't always get that second opportunity. That's a lot of what Doc V says too. You just got to keep moving. You got to take the steps forward, which is kind of why I joined and got involved in like the inner circles and the mastermind, so that I can keep myself moving in a forward direction. If I give myself too long sitting still, I contemplate and talk myself out of stuff. Like I signed up for 3 events in a very short span of time because I knew if I gave myself time to think about it, I would talk myself out of it. Sometimes it's just about taking the action. And then to repeat a couple of things, like he was saying, you don't want to sit in that non-motion. It's too easy to get in your head. And that's part of the reason, like for me, I do have like a couple of routines. And getting up, I get up because the animals are looking for food, and it stops me from laying in bed contemplating what I think is wrong with where I'm headed, what I'm doing, or what life looks like. If I get moving, I always find something to be comforted about or soothed about, and it makes things progress forward. Sitting, ruminating, stewing about things not going right has never helped me, and it's only caused me anxiety, and probably I was never diagnosed with depression, but maybe there were periods in time that I was, but it helped me to just move forward. And like I said, Luke has a personality, and I saw that about him when I met him in New York in this past summer, but he just has that kind of personality, and he just lays it out like it is. But I appreciate that honesty, and it was true. What he said is what I've actually experienced myself. Sitting in non-motion just makes things worse. Just keep moving forward, because even if it's not the right path, as Doc V says, if we keep aiming and never take the shot, we never make progress. But if we make a step, then we readjust and make a shot, and then readjust, and then make another shot, we'll move down the road a little faster. But like I said, I'm going to actually like tag his podcast in my comments here, because I really did enjoy the talk, and he's just got one of those magnetic personalities. It was a pleasure to meet him, and I enjoyed that talk this morning because it reminded me of the things that I've worked to overcome in the past couple of years. So I hope you guys found something useful, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. It's raining here, but that's okay. The plants need a little water. Thanks. Probably they don't, because we've had a lot of it this summer, but that's okay. That's the way it's meant to be. Have a beautiful day, and thank you.